And we are back in the building, back with some more boxing. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Smash the like button and all that good stuff. Now, guys, once again, we're going to talk a little bit about Gervonta Tank Davis, aka Abdul Wahid. Now, let me say this, because normally I do say this a lot, but I'm going to say it for people who haven't watched the channel. I am a fan. I'm a huge fan of Gervonta Tank Davis. I honestly think Gervonta Tank Davis could be that guy at 135, at 140. You know, I'm not talking about cash. I'm talking about, you know, being the guy, the man when it comes to, you know, boxing and beating all these guys. But I think he has a lot of work to do. I still think there's fights on the table that he needs to take. Vasily Lomachenko being one. And the biggest one, I think, is Devin the Dream Haney. Now, even though I'm a fan, you guys know I've been criticizing Gervonta Tank Davis as of late, because that's what I do here on the channel. When you do good things, I'm going to praise you. But when you do suspect stuff, I'm going to call it out. You know, I'm not a fanboy channel. We got plenty of that on YouTube. Those channels tend to do well because, you know, they're catering to a certain type of person, or certain types of individuals. I don't do that here. You know, I could do that. I could probably, you know, do better than I'm doing now, but I got to keep it real. I got to keep it real with you guys, regardless of if I'm a fan or not. And I just see Gervonta Tank Davis, as well as his team, doing anything to avoid Devin Haney. Now, I know a lot of people think this all started after the Regis Prograde fight, where Devin Haney put on a spectacular performance, dominating performance. We started hearing a lot of talk about Devin being too big. Tank doesn't fight at 140. Devin Haney's going to need to come back down to 135. Devin doesn't bring any money. We heard everything but less fight. Everything but less fight. That's what we all heard. And I think a lot of this stems from Gervonta Tank Davis's fans and also his team. I wouldn't necessarily say Gervonta Tank Davis himself, although he has said some suspect stuff. But I said in another video, I think the reason that they're reluctant to put him in the ring with Devin Haney is because they think Devin Haney is a bad style matchup. And I honestly believe that. I think a lot of you guys believe that as well. But I think it all started not with the Regis Prograde fight. I don't even think it really started with Devin Haney. I think it started with the Mario Barrios fight. Mario Barrios. I went back and I watched that fight. And he gave Gervonta Tank Davis a lot of problems in that fight. Being the taller, rangier fighter, he was very disciplined in that fight. He was working behind the jab, setting up his shots, going to Gervonta Tank Davis's body, using good footwork, turning Gervonta Tank Davis. He was very successful up until he got knocked down. Even after that, he was still disciplined enough. You know, he didn't win the fight, but there was a lot of discipline in Mario Barrios. And I think his team saw that, and they thought about, you know, what if that was Devin Haney? Devin Haney being the more skilled fighter than Mario Barrios, having a better jab, having better footwork. I think the only thing Mario Barrios probably had on Devin was, you know, the power factor. He was a lot more powerful than Devin Haney. But looking at that fight, I could see how they would look at that fight and say, we can't put him in the ring with guys like this. We can't do it. Guys with really good jab, guys with good footwork, they're going to be a nightmare for Gervonta Tank Davis. And I think that's one of the reasons why they are so reluctant to put him in the ring with Devin Haney. Everybody but Devin Haney right now. Gervonta hasn't really fought a lot of fighters like that outside of Mario Barrios, in my opinion. I thought Leo Santa Cruz, he was a good fighter, but let's face it, he came up to face Gervonta Tank Davis. He was kind of at a disadvantage. But I think that was the day After that fight, that was the day that they realized he couldn't. They couldn't put him in the ring with certain style matchups. Now, could he beat those guys? I think it's possible. I think it's possible that he can beat those type of guys like Devin Haney, guys like Lomachenko. But you still have to fight him. You know, I heard Leonard Ellaby say he beats all those guys. You know, anybody can say that. You have to show and prove. See, boxing is about showing and proving and giving the fans the fights that they want to see. Nobody called for a Conor Benn fight with Gervonta Tank Davis. Nobody called for that. We called for Devin the Dream Haney versus Gervonta Tank Davis. The guy who was undisputed at 135, Devin Haney, against Gervonta Tank Davis, who fought at 140 before. Fought a bigger guy in Mario Barrios. And like I said, he gave him problems. And that's the moment that they knew that that type of fighter was going to be that Devin Haney would be a bad style matchup for Gervonta Tank Davis. If you don't believe me, go back and watch the fight. He struggled with Mario Barrios in the beginning of the fight. He struggled to get past that long jab. Check it out for yourself if you don't believe me. But I think they don't want to put him in the ring with Devin Haney. I don't know if it's ever going to happen. I think it needs to happen. You know, I don't think... I think there's always going to be questions. People are always going to question Gervonta Tank Davis if he doesn't fight Devin Haney. And let's just say he loses. So what, he loses? At least he was, you know, brave enough to go into the fight. You know, you're always going to get respect, you know, from boxing fans, from real boxing heads. You know, you go in there, give it your all. You know, maybe your best wasn't good enough. You're always going to have that respect. But I think him being this massive star, the team and the network he's on, they don't want to rock the boat. They want to keep everything status quo. But if you want to be seen as the best, you have to fight the best competition. That's what boxing is about. That's what boxing is about. And I think we've gotten away from that. You know, now is more of a, you know, popularity contest. But I don't care about who's popular. I want to see who's the best. I want to see him get in the ring and mix it up with the best competition there is out there. And I know a lot of you guys want to see that too. And that's why I always praise His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh, because he wants to give us that. He wants to give us that, whereas some of these platforms in the U.S. don't want to give us that. Gervonta Tank Davis, you need to fight Devin the Dream Haney. For respect. For respect. That's all I got to say about that, guys. You guys let me know what you think about it in the comment section. Do you ever think he will fight Devin Haney? You let me know how you feel about it. It's the CMB. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. And I'm out. Peace.